You didn't choose reading by instinct. You chose it by discipline. Your brain was never designed for words on a page. Nature gave you eyes to see danger, a voice to speak, ears to hear. But reading, that was never guaranteed. From an evolutionary perspective, reading is brand new. Too new for the brain to evolve a special system for it. Which means every time you read, your brain must adapt, and adaptation is not comfortable. This is why most people avoid it. To read, your mind must borrow circuits from vision, language, memory, emotion, and attention and force them to work together. Reading is not passive, it is construction. The Stoics understood this long before brain scanners existed. They knew the mind is not born strong, it is trained. Marcus Aurelius didn't read because it felt good. He read because life was hard. Seneca didn't study philosophy to relax. He studied to endure. Epictetus didn't care for entertainment. He cared for clarity, because a weak mind reacts. A trained mind responds. When you read deeply, something radical happens. Letters become sounds. Sounds become meaning. Meaning becomes judgment. This is why reading activates the entire brain, not one region, all of it. Thought becomes effortful again, and effort is the price of freedom. Consider the origin of reading. The first writing systems, Sumerian symbols, Egyptian hieroglyphs, were not designed for pleasure. They were tools of memory, of order, of civilization. As symbols evolved, so did the human mind. The more humans read, the more they could think abstractly, plan long-term, reflect on consequences. Stoicism was born in this world, a world where writing allowed thought to outlive emotion. And here is the truth modern culture avoids. Your mind becomes what it repeatedly consumes. Neuroscience confirms it. Stoicism warned about it. Different languages activate different neural pathways. Visual memory, association, symbolic reasoning. This means the brain reshapes itself based on what and how you read. You are not just reading content, you are building circuitry. Now compare that to how most people consume information today. Scrolling, skimming, interruptions every few seconds. No depth, no continuity, no endurance. A mind trained on constant novelty loses the ability to stay with one thought. And a person who cannot stay with a thought cannot stay with truth. The Stoics called this being ruled by externals. Notifications dictate attention. Algorithms dictate emotion. Outrage replaces reasoning. Science now shows the cost. Screen-based reading encourages speed over understanding, skimming over reflection, reaction over judgment. The more fragmented the attention, the weaker the executive function, especially in children. Studies show early digital overstimulation predicts poorer focus, learning, and academic performance later. But this isn't just about children. Adults are not immune. A distracted brain becomes restless. A restless brain seeks stimulation. A stimulated brain avoids silence. And silence is where thinking happens. Stoicism demands the opposite: stillness, attention, voluntary discomfort. Deep reading does exactly that. It forces you to slow down, to sit with complexity, to resist the urge for instant reward. When you read deeply, your body reacts, your gut tightens, your chest responds, your emotions synchronize with thought. This is not metaphorical, it is neurological. The same brain regions that process pain and empathy activate when you engage with meaningful text. Reading builds emotional regulation. This is why Stoics valued it, because you cannot govern the world, but you can govern your response to it. And response requires clarity, A person who reads deeply is harder to manipulate, harder to provoke, harder to deceive. They can follow an argument, detect inconsistencies, delay judgment. These are Stoic virtues in action. Wisdom, temperance, self-control. Modern life trains the opposite. Immediate reaction, emotional outrage, short attention. This is not accidental, it is profitable. But Stoicism was never about comfort. It was about sovereignty. Reading is not entertainment. It is mental resistance training. Every page strengthens attention. Every paragraph trains patience. Every chapter builds endurance. This is why reading feels hard at first. Your mind is out of shape. And this is why most people quit. They mistake difficulty for incompatibility. The Stoic knows better. Discomfort is the signal of growth. If you want a calm mind, you don't remove challenges, you train for them. Reading daily is not a hobby. It is hygiene for the mind. Not fast reading, not shallow reading. Slow, intentional, reflective. Read not to escape life, but to face it without illusion. Because one day, life will test you. Loss, failure, uncertainty. And in that moment, your strength will not come from motivation, it will come from preparation. The Stoics believed the future belongs to those who can think clearly under pressure. Reading is how you train for that future, not tomorrow, not when life calms down. Now, because the mind you discipline today is the mind that will protect you later, and no external force can ever take that away. Thanks for watching.